this whole nation's built on tributes now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's tribute
I was
bands.
part of one, very international one.
Yeah, which was the Kumbia All Stars, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But that's essentially a tribute band because we only play songs that have been released a long time ago, and there was really nothing new.
Really?
Yeah. So,
were there any plans for y'all to do something new?
we did release 2 songs post us being there.
Wasn't one of the songs with that rapper that was murdered or something?
Yes, with Lefty SM, and that song. I mean, I'm still very proud of it. We released that one, and that featured me and as a vocalist. And then prior to that, we released one with Banda MS, and there I participated and I did a lot of background vocals. We changed out the chorus for the song, and that's one of Pete Astudillo's songs as well.
Sí. ¿No se habla con Pete? ¿Hablas con Pete tú o no?
Nos seguimos en redes, pero tengo tiempo que no platico con él. Me mandó su información y todo, pero no platicamos realmente.
¿El AB no has hablado con él? Ya no. Desde que pasó lo que pasó, que se salieron, que te sacaron del text y la chingada.
Sí, no lo he visto. No he platicado con él por teléfono, pero hace unas semanas, creo que ya cumplió el mes, lo vi aquí en McAllen. Lo vi aquí y fue por pura coincidencia.
Pues me manda. A mí de volada me mandan videos or pictures of AB Quintanilla sightings, and he was here in Edinburgh. He was at a restaurant or something like that.
Oh yeah, no. Well,
Yeah.
he was recording a video with a couple of buddies of mine that I know, and I didn't know they were going to be recording that day. But I was driving down, and it's like in my territory, like where I live, and not that it's my territory, but it's like.
Pues eres de aquí, carnal.
Sí, pero como es mi stomping ground, ¿no? Entonces iba bajando por el frontage y veo que está la camioneta de él y la conozco muy bien porque pues teníamos en un tiempo una camioneta muy similar y vi la camioneta de él, tenía unas calcamonías que son muy diferentes.
Distintas.
Sí, porque aparte no, como cuando las iba a poner yo le he dicho, no le pongas tan paletoso el asunto, pero no, le valió. Y ahí lo vi.
¿Y qué son? ¿Son bumper stickers o qué?
Son como, por ejemplo, cuando le pones...
¿Es un sticker del papá con chingo de chavalos o no?
No.
De todos los chavalitos en el sticker.
Es como de la marca de Rines y X.
Órale. Como si vas y pones un system en tu carro y le pones el system store,
like
the logo on there.
Basically become an advertisement.
Le estás diciendo a todos que tienes un sistema de $1,000 en el... No,
que abra la ventana.
¿Para qué chingas hacemos eso, verdad?
Estamos chiflados.
No, ¿para qué dirán? ¿El qué dirán?
Sí.
¿Qué dirán si no tengo sistema y que la chingada?
¿Cuánto gastó este vato? ¿Cuánto le cayó del income?
Salió, I was reading que el AB resultó en el hospital o quién sabe en Bolivia, quién sabe dónde andaba.
No, eso
me parece que le estaban dando una, ¿cómo se dice? Un suero. IV, un suero, sí. Like, probably just dehydrated or something like that.
Probably,
bro.
man. The guy, like when we were traveling together, the guy is resilient. You know, like I'm way younger than him, and we wouldn't sleep when we were traveling. So the guy would stick through it. You know, he wouldn't.
No se rajaba.
No, I wouldn't have to be carrying him around. Like,
Yeah.
No, he's on a mission and he does it, and I salute that for him. He's been in it for a long time and he still has the drive. So
Tienes que andar en chingada, no matter. La cosa es, at our age, like he's over 60, I'm almost there. If we stop rolling and running and moving, we start hurting. You know what I mean? Our age you start feeling your age.
Yeah, but if you're getting close to 60, bro, and I think last time I saw you with a little bit less veins, and I see you again, I was like, what the heck's going on, bro?
No, bro, I've been going
down.
to the gym. I just started going back again about a month and a half ago, and I hadn't gone about 6 months, so my body was just recovering, and I just freaked out with the amount of, gains that I got just with getting back in again. I just need to do a little more cardio and stuff, but and I go and I do my own thing, and I don't have a set schedule like people do chest on Mondays, cardio on Tuesday, Wednesdays is legs, and you know what I mean. I just like whatever I feel like working out on that day, so it keeps my body guessing. Like what the hell is he?
What is that? The muscle confusion.
Simón, porque si haces lo mismo por meses y meses, el cuerpo ya no crece y no responde porque it adjusts. Ya sabe que le vas a meter una chinga en las piernas a las 3 de la tarde el miércoles. And it starts preparing and it fights back from.
Okay.
So the whole secret about it is you do chest and arms on Mondays for a couple of months, and legs on Wednesday for a couple of months, and then Fridays you do back and shoulders for a couple of months, and then after 3 months of doing it like that consistently, I'm gonna do legs on Monday, and your legs are gonna be, hey, what the fuck, man? I mean, hey, this is in Wednesday. So then you start shocking it, and you start getting more results out of it.
I like to do that too. Like I confuse my body. Am I gonna go to the gym today or not? And I usually don't. So I keep it confused, man. That's my secret.
Well, that's the hardest. The hardest thing about it is just getting into the gym. Because once you get on that treadmill, you start walking, you start feeling it, and then you start hitting the weights, and you start getting a good pump, and But the hardest part is just walking through that fucking door, dude.
And you never regret working out. You regret not doing it, but not when you do it. Like once you get up there and once you take that first step, like you say, it does feel really good. And I was kidding.
It's an accomplishment. It is. I mean, and besides, as we get older, our body starts needing that adrenaline.
And it feels great, man. Like I think when I don't work out, because I try to work out almost every day. When I'm here at home, I have my setup at home, and I do put in the work every morning. And if I don't do it, I feel draggy. I feel sleepy, and
you're a big guy, bro. I mean, you're tall. How tall are you?
I'm 6'2".
¿Y estás que unos 225, 240 o qué?
About 220.
220? Ay, güey, yo estoy 230, güey, 225.
People get a little bit freaked out when they see me in person because they see videos or pictures of me, and they're like, dude, I thought you were just a small dude.
Cuando de primero te conocí, bro, estabas como 90 libras, yo creo.
I was really skinny, dude.
Estabas bien chavalo, bro.
I was really skinny, and nothing fit right. I think I grew very unproportionately, where my arms, one of them was longer than the other, and not as that exaggerative, but I was just real lanky, man. Like real lanky. Nothing fit right. I mean, I would buy shirts that were my size, like I would buy small, but then the sleeves were like this, like I have to be keeping them up because I have long arms, but it was just growing I have the body of an ape, man.
Yeah.
Kind of.
No, and you're almost 40, you said, right? Or
ya
le pegaste a los 40 o no?
Ya estoy ahí bailando. I'm pulling the hair. Yeah.
Wow, bro.
Yeah,
you start thinking when you get to that age, you start thinking in decades, like, chinga, in 10 years I'll be 50. Where am I going to be in 10 years when I'm 50, And the thing about it is your voice, bro, it can be, it's one of those voices that can last forever, dude. You know what I mean? Como, it's not, there's certain voices that fit only a certain time, an era, and then, it gets outdated. But you have that international voice, man, like, that can last forever, bro, right?
Yeah, well, I'm blessed that my voice keeps me young, and also what I do keeps me young, and it also pushes me to stay looking good or try to look good as much as I can, and also the challenges of people who keep coming up, and there's new exercises now that we have a lot of access to different exercises. You challenge yourself to become a better person. There's not an excuse to be slack or to not try to better yourself now, because there's access. I mean, with our phones now, we have access to education, workouts, food, diets. We have access to everything, so there's no excuse to slack off. We have I think we're at a right time if we learn how to capitalize it to make it better and to stay looking fresh, young, and actually not only look it but also feel it, and where you can go against somebody that's in the biological or years younger than you, but you can keep up or exceed what they can. Yeah. Because I think it's part of what we learn now as grown-ups. We spend our time differently. Like when I was younger, there was a lot of things that I wouldn't appreciate or value as much as I do now. Like now every moment is special. I realize like a lot of people that have come into my life and that have pushed me a little bit further, and I look back and you learn to be grateful, and value that. And I think I stuck on that a little bit the first time we talked, because for me it meant a lot what you did, and I don't mind saying it over
when we
and
got
over
you into the radio station.
Yeah, dude,
I opened the door for you there.
I was just a little punk, man. You opened the door, and even then, like there's a few people, like I like to call it my little basket, and I have my notes of people who are deserving of my.
Who had somewhat of an impact in your life.
Yeah, because I always try to get that from people as a writer. You try to find inspiration in anything and everything, and when somebody impacts you that way and learns, your body and your mind learns to just have a special place for them, and it helps you go back and realize that the world's not as crazy as you think it is, because otherwise you would go nuts. Because there's also the balance of great people that I've met in my life that push me further, and then there's also the people who are just wasting my time, robbing me, con me. But I think it's just part of the balance, and as you get older, you learn how to value all that, and you learn how to make better decisions.
That's crazy, man, because is it really like that anymore? Like back in the day, like in the 90s, it was every band was wanting to outdo the other band, and they wanted to get more of the limelight than the other. And now you see a lot of collaborations, bro. A lot of collaborations between bands, like everybody's working together. Yeah. And that's pretty interesting to me. Have you done any collaborations with anybody besides, of course you were with AB, but have you ever thought of doing any collaborations? And if so, who would you want to do a collaboration with? Who's like your dream collaboration with, man?
Man, my dream collaboration, I have the female vocalist that I would want to collaborate with, and then I have obviously the male vocalist that I really admire and that I think we could synergize and do something really cool. And I'm just speaking outside of my level right now, because se vale soñar, no?
Sí, yeah. But, and you never know, I mean.
Yeah, but I would love to
look at Frontera and Bad Bunny, bro. Who would have ever expected that?
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And I think now it's probably it flipped a little bit. No, I think now people would want to collaborate with Frontera. Before Frontera was always Bad Bunny. The Bad Bunny's the A track. But I think now Frontera, I mean, thank God they've been on this rise, and they've been in a very steady rise, and it's not just a little foam explosion, like a thing now. Like
it's not just a overnight thing or one night thing or one time thing. It seems like they're gonna be hanging in there for a while, bro.
Yeah, they're taking it in good steps. I don't know the guys personally, but I know of them through other people, and it seems like at least the people who are in charge have a really cool head, and they know what they're doing.
Well, when they get to that level and they've got that amount of money coming in, they can hire the best to keep them up there. You know what I mean? To guide them. And people that aren't wanting to destroy them, wanting to help them and ride the wave with them as well, But they just packed in, what was it, Bird Ogden Arena here in Edinburgh, a couple of nights in a row, bro.
Really?
Saturday and Sunday. Estaba hasta el tronco los dos noches. And my brother-in-law went with my sister-in-law, and he sent me a video, and man, the place was lit, man. The music, the singing, and it sounded really amazing. It's really interesting, and it gives us a sense of pride, to have guys like from our own backyard just be at that level, dude, right?
Yeah, and I feel like if somebody deserves it, I think it would be them. Knowing a little bit about them now, and I think it wasn't an accident, like they've been at it. They've been at it.
Dude, there was a picture that I had where I'm introducing them at the community center there in Edinburgh. They were playing like at a little health fair on a Saturday morning at 10 a.m. and I was there to MC. And they were just a little high school band, and the singer was there. And little did I know that guy was going to end up where he's at today. You never know. Yeah. That's why it's always good to be good with people. It's like, when you came in, bro, I mean, I never knew you would have been playing with A.B. Quintanilla one day, I saw that you had talent and you were hungry, and come on in and let's see what you got, and let's introduce you to everybody, and I think that's what I love about my job and my show. But when going back to collaborating, what woman would you interested in collaborating with?
Well, there's an amazing singer, Laura Pausini, which I love her voice. She's a great singer.
She's been around for a while, no?
Yes, and but just one of those voices that when I was younger and I would listen to her, it was just out of this world. You would listen to it, and her versatility, any language that she would sing, it still sounded beautiful. And I think it would be great if the other voice would be a female. I would like to work with her, and if it's a male vocalist, dreaming again, like throwing it out there, I would love to work with Alejandro Sanz. I think he's a great artist. We had a chance to tour with him, and he was a great guy, and he gave us the space, kind of like what you did, you know, where we were the opening act. But when I guess when he found out that we were going to open up, he at that time it was still called Twitter, and I was at a movie theater, and then I just got blown up by Twitter, and he's just, hey Zeri, I'm looking forward to see you in Mexico City. I was like, oh crap, like that's happening. But he's that type of guy, you know. Like I met him in we played with him in Monterrey, but we didn't see him there. And then we played again with him in La Arena, Ciudad de Mexico. And then he made time for us before we got on stage. He was doing like a little press conference in the backstage area, and we walked in. We were like, okay, well let's. I was with Hector, by the way. Un saludito al compa Hector. I was with him, and we were in the back with another buddy of ours, Pablo Salinas, which is another great dude that I admire and appreciate a lot. So we were back there, and as soon as we walked in, we were just thinking, okay, this guy's going to be busy. Let's just kind of like make sure that we take care of our time if we do get to talk to him. And as soon as we walk in, obviously I'm 6'2", you know, and we were in a corner, and it was a very low ceiling. The guy turns around, he's talking to somebody from a newspaper, and he's like, Zeri! I was like, oh shit, is this happening? Like, this guy is really talking to us. So Hector was much more of a fan than I was. I became a fan of Alejandro Sanz after I met Hector, and I started getting into that. But then I got deep in it, man. Like I was deep in it, into his music and to his art. So when I talked to him, like we talked about the stupidest crap, man, because we were shocked. I didn't think he was gonna come over.
Like what were you talking about?
I don't know, man. Like I like her mustache. No, I'm kidding. No, it was more like, dude, like we started talking about working out and just random things that were like, we had all these ideas. Like I wanted to talk to him about.
You're trying to make a connection, you know, right? I mean, you were trying to see where you all relate and if maybe you have the same likes and stuff. So you need to
but we try to funnel it down on such little time, you know. And it's like you want to compress a whole conversation, and at times it's you only had that one good question that might spark something on him. But at that time it was still cool because he made the time for us. He ignored everybody else. He made you feel like if you were the only person there, and he made the time. And for me, that was very special. And aside from being a great artist, and an artist that I admire a lot, a great writer, a great musician, he's a great human being. You know, like he made time for us, and it.
So he knows who you are.
Yeah.
What's keeping you from reaching out to him and asking him, hey, man?
I need to throw the name out there, man. I need to find the right song, because we have some collaborations, and I don't want to remove anything special from the guys that we're going to collaborate now, because they're also great. Mm-hmm. But since we haven't finalized what we're doing, I don't want to announce.
No, but this is a bucket list thing for you. You know, I mean, that's something that you love to do before you leave this earth. I mean,
sure.
I would imagine maybe just toss him an Instagram message, or
DM,
I don't know I don't know if you have his number or not, or his WhatsApp. No, but a lot of times to reach them, you got to go through some ladders and steps and all that kind of stuff. But
you got to kiss some necks. And
Laura Pausini, have you ever met her in person or no?
I haven't. I have not met her in person. We've been in the same building, but we've never met. Mm-hmm. We haven't met yet, and I think that's pretty much it as far as like vocalists. But there's a lot of musicians that I would like to work with, and I've had a chance to be around a lot of musicians. Like we had a chance to open up for Justin Bieber in Monterrey, and that was insane. Yeah, and seeing people like that, and where at that time Justin Bieber was like the parallel universe of what Frontera is now, right now. Like he was on a rise. He was doing stadiums all over the place,
dude,
and
that guy's on another level.
And it was weird, man, because we were on tour with many artists before that, you know, like, and you name the top pop artists at the time in the Mexican market, or I guess international market, and some of them it would be real tight and tense backstage because they wouldn't want any noise. You had to be really quiet. You couldn't talk to certain people. You couldn't even rehearse too loud because they're doing their rituals, whatever it was. But with Justin Bieber, man, like it was like a very relaxing experience, considering the fact that it was at a sold out stadium, like 60-some thousand people, and the way that his staff treated us, the way that the whole environment was. I think it's a reflection of the artist, and
absolutely, man.
Yeah, and it felt great because you get in there, we're doing sound check, and they gave us a space. The people working back there, everything's here is yours. Whatever you want to do, if you want to put your logo, because at that time, trying to open up for an artist of that level, you kind of just hold back a little bit, and you don't want to overstep your welcome or say, you know what, I want to put my logos in the background or a video or whatever. Like, you kind of just say, I'm gonna appreciate this space that they're giving me, and that's it. But the people that worked with them, they were like, everything's that here's yours. What do you need? You have a USB stick so we can put your videos in the back, put your logo. I was like, what? This is real? Like, and it just felt like really peaceful.
Professional.
And they were playing Christian music in the background. There was just like a nice aura, and it felt.
Have you heard Bieber's new stuff? That it's Christian.
Really, I haven't kept up with them. I heard one song, and I usually start off my day with a few worship songs, and like when I'm in my studio / office, and put it in the background and just kind of get in the mood. I think God is a big part of my life. Jesus is a big part of my life, and so I start off my mornings like that. And one of the playlists, one of his songs comes out, and it's just a beautiful song. He's singing with somebody else.
Well, the thing is they say it's AI, it's artificial intelligence. That created the song, and they're Christian songs with Justin Bieber's voice.
Oh, but it's not him singing.
They're saying that it's not. It says it's created by artificial intelligence, but his image is all over it, and so are like old videos of him as a kid with his parents. And this one, it's called Holy Jesus. Let's see if it comes featuring Evan Tunes. I think it's.
I try to be cool with the sunglasses because I see all your guys here, but I think I'm gonna take them off, man.
I just wanna know what it looks like to love people, I wanna know that Jesus.
Yeah, and
who goes to where the broken people are,
So
in the silence, you're the voice I hear.
Saying it sounds just like him.
I know, dude, and it's artificial intelligence.
Really? That's how can they do that?
And so, when I put a post on my Facebook, and it said, I guess Jesus had a plan for this kid after all, because of this song, and everybody was like, it's AI, bro, it's not even him, it's AI. I'm like, but it's his image.
It's on his YouTube page?
Well, it's let me see here. It says Evan Tunes, EVANTUNES.
And
yeah.
You're the shepherd who leads the way, guiding me through each and every day.
So I said it has his image, so it has to be, it has to have his blessing, right?
Yeah, they would have taken it down.
They would have taken it down already. So, because they were saying it's not him, he's not going there, it's AI. No, but it's his image, and they're using him. So he has to give them permission to do that. So obviously it's something that he's got. And now you're telling me that there was Christian music backstage when
it was legit. I mean, it was. Like, it felt genuine. It wasn't like somebody trying to set up a front. It felt genuine. Like, I mean, he has a stadium with Christian music in the background, while he's doing a sound check as well. That show, he sang a couple of Christian songs. And so I think he has it in him, like his faith. And I think before, I remember seeing his documentary, and I think Jesus was a big part of his life, and also his mother. But
and then he met Diddy.
Yeah, Diddy.
What's the deal with that, right? Something said after what Diddy did to him, and I'm like, I don't even know what's going on with. Have you been keeping up with that P Diddy stuff, that Puff Daddy?
I rarely watch TV, man.
Yeah.
The only news that I
but
get.
But you're on social media. I mean, you're seeing it all, right? Aren't you?
I try to.
300 bottles of baby oil and shit like that.
Well, I mean, who doesn't? I have like 400 at the house, right? Man. Nunca sabes. You
gotta have that shine, bro. You know what I mean? No, but the thing about it is, like, you don't know what's real. Like, and then it's really interesting. Like Diddy, all it takes is one woman or one person to say, "Hey, 30 years ago, this happened," and then they take him to court civilly, right, or whatever, and there's money. I mean, he's like, you know what? Just pay her off whatever she wants.
Isn't it kind of weird?
So then all of a sudden you got 10 other girls. You know what I mean? It's I don't know, bro.
I feel like access to people and social media have removed the validity of forgiveness. Or
due process.
Yeah, but it's like if you do something to me 20 years ago, and I of course you didn't DD me or do anything saucy to me, but like let's say you do something, you know, and we talk about it as men.
Te agarré la nalga o algo así.
I mean, para eso son, pero se piden, Rock.
Sin permiso.
No, pero let's say something did happen, you know, like but then you kind of like own up to it, you talk to it, and you forgive someone, and that's part of forgiving is to throw it away. You know, part of us as believers, you know, you do things, but Jesus gave his life for you for that same reason. He's not going to bring it back. I'm going to give my life for you, pero te acuerdas? Remember when you did that thing? Remember when you did that? Or remember you hurt this guy or you hurt that girl? You know, it doesn't work like that. And I think because of greed, because of attention, everything that we have access to now has removed validity of forgiveness. You know, because what's the point of forgiving somebody if you're going to bring it back because of money? You know, but I'm not. There's levels to this. Obviously, there's a huge spectrum of issues. One thing is that like somebody accidentally hurt somebody, and then all of a sudden you forgive him, but then you know what? There's a possibility of a lawsuit. Let's sue this guy later on in life. But there's also like,
or what if there was consent? You know, there was consent between a woman and a man or whatever, and then 30 years later she says, you know, she's hard up, needs money.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting because. I just freak out when they say 35 years ago, and then they take them to civil court, and depending on the judge. I mean, look at Trump. You know, that lady that, you know, took him to court. They rewarded her with $85 million.
Like, what's the difference?
She didn't remember what year it was, what store it was in. She just remembered that it was in a dressing room. So there was a lot, but it was in New York, and, you know, they hate Trump.
What year was it? Because I was in New York that day.
Well,
maybe I can get a little lawsuit.
It was in the 90s, apparently, or something like that. But she didn't know exactly what year. And they gave her $85 million. When I saw that, I said, boy, this is probably gonna make a lot of people shaking their pants that lived in the 90s, you know, all that death row stuff and all the parties, NWA. You remember, did you see the movie NWA?
I did not.
Or Straight Outta Compton? Did you ever see that movie? The parties they were having with women all over the place. I mean, any one of those women can come up nowadays and say,
and that's
I was
true.
At that party and they did this to me, and boy, okay, well, I don't remember, but give her money, you know.
Just keep it in the hush, you know.
Yeah, that's what happens a lot of times, man. But and then the due process is out of the window.
Exactly. But I mean, I'm not saying that all should be just put aside, because there's, as everything deserves forgiveness, but there's also things that deserve consequence, you know.
When you were growing up, through your, you know, when you were starting out, and I mean, I'm sure there was a lot of girls involved. You were at the Justin Bieber concert, right? And if you met a girl there, and then all of a sudden, you know, 20 years later, she says, you know what, he touched me. You know, and you go and they put you on in front of or they say on the news that you've allegedly assaulted her, and they don't see the word, they don't hear the word alleged.
Allegedly.
They're gonna say, y el vato se la chingó.
Pues sí.
And then you have to go through the whole legal process, and you're exonerated, you're found not guilty, and are they gonna throw that on the news and tell everybody?
Because I think
they're not, you know.
The bad news or the more enticing news is the one that really grabs people's attention. Is usually what's controversial. You know, that's what makes people turn. I mean,
but the court of public opinion has no mercy. I mean, it's like I said. They arrest me because some girl says I sexually assaulted her 20 years ago, and they have to go arrest me, and they put me in front of a judge, and Rock and Roll James was arrested for allegedly assaulting a woman 20 years ago, and I hate pinche Rock. You're lo que hizo pinche Rock, you know? And I'm like, I didn't do anything. I'm innocent. And then you go through the whole process, you take her to court, it comes out that it's bullshit. They don't do anything to her, but my career is screwed, you know. It's too late, and they're not gonna put it on the news like, remember that time that we had Rock and Roll? Well, he's innocent. No. they'll put it like maybe in a little area of the newspaper like that, you know.
Yeah, there's
But
this
it's really bad, man.
Yeah, and I get you, man. There's this comedian that I like. Do you know who Chris D'Elia is?
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Yeah, he came to the Valley not too long ago. I went to go check him out. Well, he was a product of the whole Me Too movement happened. He got canceled, you know, and there was consensual stuff that he did, but I think he was in a relationship or something like that, and he got canceled. He was going to be on a couple of Hollywood movies. He was in shows. He was on a meteoric rise, and I think because of it became popular to start bringing up stuff. Some people did deserve it. You know, obviously, there's people who are horrible and manipulative people. I've been around them. I'm sure you've been around those people. Mm-hmm. But I think in his case, it was just I was being unfaithful. You know, he was outside of on a show or whatever, and some people accused him of sleeping with them or whatnot. And I don't know the story in detail because it was a mí no me queda nada, ¿verdad? But as a person who I really got into his comedy when he was like barely coming back from being canceled, you know, and that usually people have that, they don't have a second chance, and he did, you know, and he started working his way back up. He has a podcast and he started a family. So there was a growth of a man, and it was like, you know what, like it's a perfect example of somebody that made a mistake, but then he turned it all around, and he has a lot of good views on what people do nowadays because he lived it. You know, he got canceled. I think now people who go up and fight against abortion or like the touchy subjects, but then they've never been around anybody who had an abortion, or they never had to have an abortion. They've never been in that situation, but they
don't have kids.
No tienen niños until they get really involved in that. But then they get something pushed, or a motive or an agenda, whatever. And then it's over, and then they go back to a birthday and be like, happy birthday. They will forget about what they were trying to do because their life goes on. But they were so invested in somebody that's not even part of their life. But they keep going on what they do with their life. Y se olvidan de lo que estaban haciendo in the first place, just because they were part of a movement, part of something that's popular. And I think with him, what I learned is, you know what, this guy turned his life around and became a father of 2 now, and he's still working and keeping his head up independently now from the people who were part of this system that made his career collapse. But he stayed in a way where he kept working and change it around with work and just stay focused. And but I think there's very few stories like that. I mean, like P. Diddy, imagine him trying to come back. I mean, that guy, with everything and everyone that's coming out, he's gonna be stuck in that hole for a while. You know, like, I mean, and that's because I don't know the story. But now everything I open is Diddy. You know, like,
well, the thing right now is that they're gonna release a list of names and some videos, and you're gonna see people on those videos that, you know,
like the Epstein list?
Yeah, you're gonna see people on those videos that are even bigger than Diddy, you know, and
it'll be crazy.
So,
Bronco and FM6 in that list, bro.
Yeah, but it's interesting to see where that's gonna go with that guy, man, because he was part of the 90s, the death row, the bad boy,
cocaine frenzy,
yeah,
everywhere.
Las Vegas, you know, hip hop. When back in the 90s, todo se valía, bro. You know.
Todavía, bro. Like, todavía. No que no se valga o que no se pueda hacer ahora. I think it's just harder because everybody has a phone and just they'll pop it up.
Sí.
But I think people are getting smarter. You know, like there's people who they still do that. You know, they just have rules before you get into the party, and then I wouldn't be surprised if things keep coming up 20 years from now because somebody did something in the 2020s. You know, because it's people just evolve in what technology brings them, and they start getting smarter, they start doing things, but the craziness sticks there, you know, because once you have a lot of money and a lot of power, you think you're
a target. You become a target as well. Mm-hmm. When you have a lot of money and a lot of power.
But one thing is to be the target, and another thing is to also think that target's never going to get to you because you're
untouchable.
Powerful. You're untouchable, and that's the fall of everybody. That's Icarus, you know, fly too close to the sun until your wings burn.
Yeah.
So it's you have to find a balance, and
you just have to not touch anybody. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, like
you take a picture with somebody, just have your hands up here.
Yeah, I learned
there was a DJ that took a picture with Taylor Swift once, and then she said that he grabbed her ass. I think it was Taylor Swift. If I'm not mistaken. So they dragged him through the whole damn thing. You know what I mean? And so I was like, and you can't see his arm. He can't say. He said he didn't do it, but you know you can't see his arm, so it leaves You know, it leaves you to think like maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But you take a picture with somebody, or especially women, you just put your hands up around their shoulders and just make sure that the camera sees them, you know?
Yeah, but it's also the other way around. I mean, I've been in pictures, Rock, where, man, I didn't get consumed because they were just not that hungry, bro. But there were people biting my neck and
women.
Man, sometimes you think the guys.
I know, man. I hate that shit, bro. Pelo seco, right?
No, but it's there's been some scenarios where I'm taking a picture and then they get a little too touchy, but I understand that. But I've understood that since a long time.
But you can't do anything to them.
No, what am I gonna do? Like,
you can't do anything to the women. It's like I was saying the other day. If you have a guy that's drunk and a woman that's drunk, right? And they're both meet at a club and they're tipsy. They start kissing and they start, y se van para la casa o se van para un cuarto o algo, and they have sex, right? Yeah. And they're both inebriated, and she wakes up the next day and she's not inebriated anymore, and she says, What did you do to me?
Yeah,
so the guy he's gonna pay for it.
The moral hangover.
Even though he was in the same position that she was, where they're both drunk and they both don't have the, the mental.
But that's a very interesting scenario, right? Because you're right. I mean,
the guy's gonna get it.
Yeah, he's gonna get it,
and the woman isn't. Yeah. But anyway, all right. So you got a new song out, right?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the song you got. I got it right here. So this one it's out on Spotify?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's on all the platforms, and the video will come out on Wednesday.
¿Y cómo se llama la rola?
Debiste ser mía. Debiste ser mía.
So you should have been mine, right?
Should have been mine, yeah.
And you wrote this song, or is it a cover? Or?
No, it's all original.
Órale. Y let's see.
Saludos para el compa Héctor.
I already like it.
Porque debiste ser mía. Qué agonía. Porque debiste ser mía.
Sounds big, bro.
Extraño molde de tu espalda, tu mano acariciándome, tus ojos que dejaban claro que solo me querían ver. La vida se nos fue en un rato y solo se quedó el retrato en mi cabeza. Como me pesa no haberte dicho te amo, no. Qué agonía. Porque debiste ser mía. Qué agonía. Porque debiste ser mía. ¿Dónde estás? Te quiero ver. Necesito sentirte. ¿Dónde estás? Te quiero ver. Necesito sentir tu piel. Y cuando te vuelva a ver, espero que te vuelva a ver. Tener la oportunidad de poderte besar. Y cuando te vuelva a ver, te amaré sin restricciones. Infierno no tenerte, si logro encontrarte, no voy a perderte, no.
Were you ever a fan of George Michael?
Yeah. Not a deep fan, but I had a couple of songs that I really liked.
Me too, bro. I saw a concert of his, and he was an amazing artist, man.
Performer.
Hijo, eso ese vato cantaba con madre, ¿verdad? Careless Whisper, I mean.
Yeah, classics.
I know, bro. Me da mucho. It reminds me like of the opening song of that concert with George Michael, and he's just like. It's electric, bro. This could be like an opener, bro. Yeah. That's awesome, man.
Thank you, brother.
It's got a big production, bro.
Yeah, man. We do it all in the house, man. That's it's Hector and I.
You're a guitar player?
Yeah, and that's like, he's not only a guitar player, he's a great engineer. And
got a good ear.
Yeah, man. I mean, everything you hear here, it's 100% in-house. Like, there's nothing outsourced.
I could hear like maybe a little rap on there too, man. You could have make like a special version with some collaborating with some
we
guy.
had on the second verse, like, "Y cuando te vuelva a ver," like that little part. We did it with that intention. Like when I was writing it, I
que se metiera un rapper con unas pinches palabras brutas.
maybe for the remix, maybe.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to jump in.
The sky's the limit when you create, man, right?
Yeah, and then when you do it with love and a passion, we weren't thinking about trying to copy anyone. It was just, we're going to do this song and we're going to feel it. And both of our influences, Hector and I connect really well as far as what we like, and all this is like 80s, 90s feel, very synthy.
Sí, bro.
And like it has a lot of like that Luis Miguel keys, and then it also has like the synths and that little like popish beat. But it's very much something that I like to listen to. Like when I'm driving, this is my night drive song.
Sure,
like,
con madre, bro.
Just to go ride and enjoy the view
with the windows down and crossing over the bridge into the island, hearing this song, bro. Right?
La yonca, como dices, on the Harley. Yeah, man, it's that's what we like to do. I mean, we start off making music that we like, and then we start decorating it, and then meet all the parameters,
all the little elements that make it
just
unique,
make professional
and gives it its personality.
Yeah, but all this is like people who know Zeri, they know what we have. They know that we have an enormous, monstrous guitar player. I mean, that with his talent is incomparable. Like I love Hector. He's my brother. We do a lot of great stuff together. We had a lot of experiences together, and also with my vocals. Like I like to stay a little bit more on the harmonic side. I mean, my influences like Journey, Queen, Freddie Mercury, like Christian, Luis Miguel, like all those like rangy singers. Like that's what I like. That's what I grew up listening to, what I admired, because I grew up listening to a lot of norteño stuff. But I always knew that my voice was never gonna adapt to singing a
norteño
Robles song or
no. This was your calling right here.
Yeah, and
this stuff. Yeah,
and the songs. I mean, it's interesting that you brought up the whole relationship where your religion is at, but a lot of it, man, it for us is very spiritual. Like how it all goes down. Just kind of let yourself go, and it's very special when, like on that song, if I show you how it started, I was singing at the house and kids in the background, dogs, and like there was family over, and I'm just playing with the guitar, and I'm like, oh, que un día, porque debiste ser mía, and I just record that part, and I was like, oh, I need to send this to Hector. Doesn't matter what time it is. Like, Hector, ¿qué onda con esta carnal? Esta perra. Like, let's work on it, and then it just becomes something where we're in the same frequency, and it just flows a lot better. But I think it's just because we understand it, and that's why it feels a lot very spiritual and religious for us, because I know that certain melodies that I've never put out before, they don't come from me, man. Like I'm too much of a crazy person. My mind's going 100 miles an hour all the time. I think when I allow myself to be used and get into that creative zone, that I feel like that's when God moves and through me. And it doesn't have to be a worship song. It just feels like, you know what, like use what you gave me, God, and let's make something happen. And that's when everything flows and things just fall into place. And I'm very proud of this stuff, because we don't have a multi-million-dollar studio. Like we know what to do with what we have, and we put all the effort to be able to release that. And for people to see those songs that hit millions of streams or views and coming out of our house, man, that's special.
And Debiste Ser Mía.
Yeah, Debiste Ser Mía.
Who were you thinking of when you were writing that song, bro?
No te puedo decir todo. Allegedly.
Hey, vato, ese es bueno, Juan, carnal. Aquí se sale toda la sopa, carnal.
Ya se me quiso salir otra cosa, bro.
Ahorita llegas a la casa, ¿quién estabas pensando cuando escribiste esa canción?
No, but it's todo se va a salir. People don't know, but before I got in here, I was talking to Rock, and I'm trying to tighten up my pants because these were a little too big because I've been losing a little bit of weight. And my zipper broke, man. So, todo se va a salir.
Reventó de la madre. Hombre, Zeri, I wish you the best of luck, bro. I'm glad you came by, man, to hang out with me.
Thank you for the invite, Rock.
This is awesome. I like doing this one-on-one. We get to talk about a lot of different stuff. But anyway, man, Zeri, it's always a pleasure to have you here, man. And I appreciate you. Here, and we'll do it again, man. We like to just chat about everything, all right?
No, man.
Es todo.
Saludos.
Zeri.
Vocalist ZERI is out now.